not an order. It's the president's opinion, and it's ridiculous that all of the corruption and dishonesty that's gone on with the launching of the witch hunt, it's not weak for the president of the United States to state his opinion.
That's just ridiculous. I mean, if the president is innocent, he should act like it, and he should cooperate with the Mueller investigation, have it go through to its logical conclusion, and then have his name cleared.
The president's tweet is unfortunate. I think it's inappropriate for him to be commenting on an ongoing investigation.
Well, as most days, some tweet gets a lot of attention, raises some eyebrows. Today, this was the one. This is a terrible situation, and Attorney General Jeff Sessions should stop this rigged witch hunt right now before it continues to stain our country any further. Bob Mueller is totally conflicted, and his 17 angry Democrats that are doing his dirty work are a disgrace to the USA. Adam Schiff on the House Intelligence Committee tweeting, the President of the United States just called on his Attorney General to put an end to an investigation in which the President, his family, and campaign may be implicated. This is an attempt to obstruct justice, hiding in plain sight. America must never accept it. Rudy Giuliani, the president's attorney, weighed in after that.
We said this, Jay Sekulow and I, when we heard the statement today, said, oh, goodness, he's saying the same thing we said. I said it about 2 weeks ago. Jeff said it actually just yesterday on Fox, that we believe that the investigation should be brought to a close. We think they're at the end of it. They should render their report, put up, I mean, I guess if we were playing poker, we're not. We can put up or shut up. What do you got?
Let's bring in our panel from Washington. Charles Hurd, opinion editor for the Washington Times. Amy Walter, national editor for the Cook Political Report. And Jonathan Swan, national political reporter for Axios. Jonathan, let me start with you. I mean, at the White House, we've seen a ton of tweets from the president where he expresses his opinion. And this one got a lot of attention because it sounded like he was giving an order.
Yeah, honestly, it shouldn't have got the attention. I know we have to cover presidential tweets and their statements and whatever, but I spoke to Rudy Giuliani a couple of nights ago. They've been saying this stuff for months. The president has it within his power to fire Mueller. He could do it. There's nothing stopping him from doing it except the fact that he knows full well that it's a red line for Congress and it really would trigger a lot of these members to do, frankly, things that are probably beyond his control. So he continues to vent. He continues to attack Mueller. This is part of that. This is not of a different category, even though to a lay reader who hasn't been covering Trump for 3 years, yes, it might look like this is a new dimension. But actually, it's just the same thing that we see every single day, which is attacking the probe, attacking the investigation, and attacking Mueller.
Well,
Amy?
Yeah, it seems the one new thing that he did, though, was to bring in Jeff Sessions into the discussion, rather than it just being about how terrible Bob Mueller is and the rigged witch hunt and all of this. Now it's saying, you know, Jeff Sessions should end this. Now, is that a directive for him to end it? No. He's not saying you need to do this, or I demand that you do this. But I think we have to get to the bottom line here, which is his tweets either mean something or they don't mean something. So some days they're important, some days they don't mean anything. Some days they're the word of the president, some days he's just venting. He is the president of the United States. He can't just vent off in the way that a regular person can through whatever social media account they have. It carries a great deal of weight. The other thing I would say is, if your lawyer tells you, Bret, this is absolutely legal, you can do it, I would just say it's probably not a good idea for you to do this. It's putting you in a difficult position, and then you kept doing it. Then somebody's going to come back to you and say, well, we told you shouldn't have done that. It wasn't a good idea. It's putting you in a bad situation. Let's not make it worse. But that's not what's happening.
Yeah, Charlie, you know, we often on the panel turn to this and say, why does this always go to 11? You know, our reaction to it.
Yeah.
Like, but it does.
Yeah, and when everything is 11, nothing is 11, or 10 for that matter, eventually. But yeah, no, I mean, you know, we have two situations going on here. You do have a legal situation, but in that legal situation, there has been no credible proof thus far that Donald Trump has done anything wrong. You also have a political situation, and Donald Trump, as president, as an American, has every right to weigh in on the political matter, on the political side of things. And the way I read that tweet and all of these tweets is he's weighing in on a political situation. He's issuing a political message, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And there's no there's nothing inappropriate. I do get that it's sort of a shock to the system around here. People, it's not the way Washington sort of normally operates. But this is a guy who doesn't care about any of that, and he has every right to defend himself, and he does. And as obnoxious as a lot of people around here find it, he does a very good job of defending himself.